It starts on a street, you know the kind, quiet, unassuming, maybe a little worn. Kids play nearby, neighbors nod hello. Just another row of houses in Gloucester, England. Nothing special, right? That's what everyone thought. But one house, number 25 Cromwell Street, looked like all the others. Brick, a bit grim, but nothing out of the ordinary. Yet behind those closed doors, something horrifying was happening. A secret festering for years. You could walk by a place like that 1,000 times and never guess. Never imagine the unspeakable acts unfolding right under everyone's noses. It's the kind of story that makes you wonder about every closed door on every quiet street. This isn't just a story about a house or even the people in it. It's about how the ordinary can become a mask for extraordinary evil. How a simple building meant for shelter and family became a tomb, a house of horrors. The ordinary hid the monstrous. The street kept its secrets. No one suspected a thing. The mask of normalcy was perfect, until it wasn't. The truth was buried deep. But secrets don't stay buried forever. Not in a place like this. Not with evil this profound. And so the nightmare began to surface. 25 Cromwell Street. Just another terraced house in a working-class neighborhood. From the outside, nothing to make you look twice. But step inside, and the picture changed. Cramped, always full of people. Kids, lodgers, coming and going. The air thick with secrets and a sense of dread. Fred West, a builder, tinkered endlessly with the house, adding rooms, changing things, extending the cellar. Why? He built strange, small rooms, some soundproofed. Imagine that, soundproofed rooms in a family home. What needed to be silenced? The house became his tool, not just a backdrop for their crimes. Its very structure was manipulated to hide the unthinkable. Floors dug up, bodies buried underneath, in the garden too. It was a slaughterhouse disguised as a home, a true nightmare factory. The walls held secrets no one could imagine. Every corner, every floorboard, a potential grave. The house itself became an accomplice. It absorbed the horror, hid the evidence. The West's crimes were built into its foundation. The ordinary became monstrous. The home became a trap. No one outside suspected a thing. The nightmare was contained, until it wasn't. The house would eventually give up its dead. But for years, it hid everything. The perfect cover for evil. A place where horror thrived in silence. And the world kept walking by, oblivious. Who was Fred West? The architect of this horror. Born in 1941, a country boy from Herefordshire. His childhood? Marked by abuse, poverty, and hardship. A serious motorcycle accident as a teen left him with a head injury. Some say it changed him. Maybe it made him more violent. Or maybe the darkness was always there. He started with petty crime, small stuff, theft. But it escalated quickly. There were whispers about him even before Rose came along. Dark rumors, sexual deviancy, troubled relationships marked by control and violence. He had children with his first wife, Rena. She disappeared. One of the first, many now believe. Fred was already a predator, honing his dreadful skills before Cromwell Street. He could be charming when he wanted something, worked as a builder, known in the community. But no one knew the real Fred, the monster beneath the surface. His cruelty was a seed, taking root long before the House of Horrors. He was a chameleon, hiding his true nature. The mask of normalcy was his greatest weapon. He blended in, fooled everyone. But behind closed doors, the real Fred emerged. The violence escalated, the disappearances began. He turned a house into a graveyard. The evil grew, unchecked. No one saw it coming. The seeds of horror were sown early. And soon, he would find a partner. Someone who matched his darkness. Together, they would become unstoppable. The nightmare was only beginning. Fred's past was prologue. Cromwell Street would be his stage. The world would never be the same. The monster was loose, and the house would become infamous. Evil had found its home, and it was just getting started. Then came Rose, Rosemary Letts, just a teenager when she met Fred West. He was much older, already a father, already a killer? Probably. She came from a troubled home, looking for escape, or maybe something darker. Their connection was immediate, intense, and toxic. She moved in quickly, became pregnant. They were a team, but not the kind you root for. This was a partnership in depravity. Fred was dominant, controlling, but Rose wasn't just a passive victim. Far from it, she was an active participant. Many say Rose was even crueler, especially toward young women and her own children. She had a vicious streak. Together, Fred and Rose created a terrifying dynamic. Their home, their rules, and their rules were barbaric. Sexual abuse was rampant, violence a daily occurrence. It was their normal. Their world was built on secrets and suffering. They lured young women, lodgers, nannies, people down on their luck. Easy targets. Fred might have started the killing, but Rose embraced it. She helped him, covered for him. They were two halves of a monstrous whole, a deadly duet. Their bond was forged in cruelty. The house became their hunting ground. No one was safe. The evil multiplied. Their partnership made them more dangerous. The violence escalated. The victims piled up. The horror deepened. Together, they were unstoppable. The nightmare intensified. The house became a fortress of pain. Their crimes became legend. The world would soon learn their names. But for years, they hid in plain sight. The perfect predators. The perfect storm. Fred and Rose, living their twisted life, and young women start disappearing. One by one, just gone. A lodger moves out, someone stops writing home. Life is messy, people drift. That's what you tell yourself, if you even notice. The victims were often vulnerable, young, looking for a room, a job, or just some kindness. They found the Wests instead. Charmaine, Fred's stepdaughter, vanished. Linda Gaff, a lodger, disappeared. Carol Ann Cooper, Lucy Partington, Shirley Robinson. The list grew longer. These weren't strangers snatched off dark streets. Many lived with them, or were connected to them. Even Fred's own daughter, Heather West, 16, last seen in 1987. She argued with her parents, then vanished. Fred and Rose told people she'd moved away, got a job somewhere else, and people mostly believed it, or didn't ask questions. It's chilling how easily these lives were erased. The police weren't connecting the dots, not yet. Missing persons reports were filed sometimes, but these were often troubled young women, seen as runaways. No one was looking for a serial-killing couple operating out of their own home. The screams were silent or ignored for far too long. The West's victims vanished without a trace. The house swallowed them whole. The pattern was there, but no one saw it. The horror continued unchecked. The missing became forgotten. The Wests counted on that. Their evil thrived in the shadows. The world looked away. The victims deserved better. But the truth was still buried. The nightmare was far from over. The list of the lost kept growing. The house kept its secrets, until the day it couldn't anymore. The reckoning was coming. The truth would surface, and the world would finally see what had been hidden for so long. For years, the West's secrets festered inside 25 Cromwell Street. But secrets never stay buried. Social services grew concerned for the children. Then police began to dig, literally. In the garden, they found Heather West, and then more bodies. The house became a crime scene, a place of unimaginable horror. The world watched as the truth emerged. The victims were finally found. The nightmare was exposed. The Garden of Horrors was revealed. The world would never forget. The world recoiled in horror. Fred and Rose West were arrested, charged with multiple murders. Fred led police to more victims, but he never faced trial. He hanged himself in prison, leaving Rose to stand alone. Her trial revealed cruelty and murder. The jury found her guilty on 10 counts, including her own daughter. Rose was sentenced to life in prison, justice of a sort. But Fred's story died with him. The empty chair in court said it all. The pain lingered. The world would never forget. The trials ended. Fred West dead, Rose West imprisoned for life. But the story of 25 Cromwell Street didn't vanish. It left a scar. On Gloucester, on Britain, on anyone who heard the details. This was real. It happened in an ordinary house, on an ordinary street. That was the most chilling part. The house became a monument to evil, a morbid tourist attraction. In 1996, it was demolished, wiped from the landscape, as if trying to erase the memory. But you can't erase something like this. Now a new generation has grown up, but the name Cromwell Street, Fred and Rose West, they still evoke a shudder. The house is gone, but the legacy lingers. The scars are permanent. The story is a warning. The legacy won't fade, not ever.